Maisingit ko lang, may nakita akong comment kanina. Ang sabi, "Coach, kilala mo ba si Kulaong?" Ah, ganito na lang, ganito na lang. Ah, nung marami pa siyang fans, nung milyon-milyon pa lang ang no, 'di ba milyon-milyon? Nung marami pa siyang fans, nung marami pa siyang nabudol or nabubudol na siya ay Marcos daw, mga kababayan, mga kotsiyero, yours truly, yours truly is the first to expose si Kulaong. Makikita niyo 'yan sa videos ko. Mm. Not to take anything away si Francis Leo Marcos, Ken Reyes. Mm, oo. Um, Ako yung ano, isa ako sa ako yung unang-unang expose sa isa ako sa mga taong unang nag-expose sa kanya. Mm. So, and I have proof. Puntahan niyo yung ano, yung mga yung sa ano ko, sa videos. Makikita niyo tatlo yung magkakasunod. Well, first two. Yung kay ano, yung kay, Heart, ay yung kay Heart, yung kay, Kim Chiu pala, yung van ano niya, yung assassination drama niya, yung sa van. Pangalawa kong most viewed yun, yung expose ko kay ano, yung kay, Kulaong, yung kay, Francis Leo Marcos. Hindi ko lang siya tina-topic ngayon kasi irrelevant siya. Irrelevant siya. So, hindi ko siya tina-topic. Para sa akin ano, irrelevant siya. Mm. And, it's pointless. I mean, 'di ba? It's pointless. Um, so hindi ko siya iko-content. Alam ko kino-content siya ni Makagago pero I don't really care, totoo lang. I don't care. Mm. So, well, kung ngayon napapansin na siya ng mga malalaking vloggers, edi maganda kung ngayon lang na-realize ng mga malalaking vloggers na yun yung, kapekean ni Francis Leo Marcos. Pero, um kami yung ano, yung kami yung unang nag-expose sa kanya. Kasama ako dun sa mga unang nag-expose sa kanya. And, yung identity niya na Norman Mangusin, kami yung naglabas nun. So, yun. Yan yung sila ano, sila Makmak Pablo, mga tao ni Kulaong yan dati. Yan, sila Makmak Pablo. Yung mga kasama niya yan dati. Maniwala kayo sa hindi, inaaway pa ako niyang mga yan before. Oh. 'Pag napanood ko yung mga ano niya, mga video niya, oh. Di ko na alam kung nandoon pa rin. Binabash ako niyang mga yan noon. Mm. Binabash ako niyang mga yan noon. Yan sila Makmak Pablo tapos ngayon ano, pro admin. Bahala sila, walang problema. 'Di ba? Si Barsaga kasama rin ni Makmak ni ano, nila Makmak Pablo yan. Oh. Walang problema. Mm. So yun. Um, so so yun. Anyway, so ako hindi ko na siya papansinin kasi number one, nakulong na siya because of his false identity. Hindi ko nga alam kung ba't ginagamit pa rin niya yung Francis Leo Marcos, eh. Kasi nakulong siya dahil because of that. Yung paggamit niya ng false identity niya. 2 years siya nakulong. Tapos ngayon laya siya. Pero yun. Anyway, si Jake. Si Jake. Nagkakasama sila before. Pero si Jake, okay na kami ni Jake. Oo. Anyway. Move on na tayo kay Kulaong. I mean, it's a waste of time. I mean, I don't even want to bother talking about it. Pero kung gusto niyo malaman kung ano yung ano, kung paano ko siya in-expose. Um, nandoon yun sa teka, wait, pakita ko nga sa inyo. Baka kasi hindi kayo naniniwala eh. Baka kasi hindi kayo naniniwala. Pero, wait. Your channel. View your channel. Ayan. Yan. Okay. Wait. Papakita ko lang sa inyo. Para lang para lang proof. Alam niyo naman ako evidence-based tayo eh. Mm. 3 videos nga yan, naka-private lang yung dalawa. Yung isa lang ang pinpublic ko. Kasi, yun lang yung pinakamarami. Ayan. Ito yung channel ko. Ayan Coach Jared Live. Ayan. Ayan. Nakita nyo yan? Popular videos. Ayan Ayan siya part 1 pa nga to eh. Payat ko pa dito Pak! Ang payat ko 5 years ago. Kailan pa ba to? Ay, napindot ko. Shucks. Sorry. Ay, payat ko dyan Ayan Pak! Payat ko pa. Totoy Marami na nagbago guys. Ayan Yan. Diba? Yan. Isa ako sa mga unang nag-expose sa kanya. Ayan Tapos, ito ma-flex ko lang. Ako yung unang-unang vlogger na gumamit ng ganitong format. Yung nagpapakita ng ebidensya. Ako yan. Ako yung unang-unang vlogger na gumamit ng ganyan. See? Di ba? So, ayan mga ganyan. And of course, ginaya na lang din ng ibang vloggers. Pero ngayon, na siya, standard na siya. So, yan. Anyway, that's it. Okay na, naka-flex na ako. Payat ko pa doon 5 years ago. Payat ko pa doon. Ay, nako. Grabe yung payat ko doon, grabe. I miss those days. Sana bumalik ako sa ganun, guys. Pero parang sobrang payat naman nun. Parang sobrang payat nun. Anyway. May cheekbone pa. May cheekbone pa ako nun. Ay, nako. Si Kina, wala ka pang kinakain nun, coach. Hindi, nung time na yan, sumasahod na ako sa YouTube niyan. Pero, hindi, nagre-revenue na ako sa YouTube, pero hindi pa kalakihan. Sakto lang, as in, sobrang sakto lang. Tapos, nauso na rin dyan yung intermittent fasting. Oo. Nauso na niya yung intermittent fasting. So, tinry ko yung intermittent fasting bago mag-pandemic. Nung nag-pandemic, wala na. Nakalimutan ko na yung fasting. Pero nag-work sa akin yun. Kasi nung panahon na yun, gaano ba ako kalaki nun? Ilan ba ako nun? Nasa 100 kilos ako nun eh. Nung nag-start ako mag-fasting. Nasa 100 kilos ako. Tapos, bumaba ako ng mga 85 or 90 kilos. Mga ganun. Yung IF. Nag-IF ako nun, tsaka calorie count sabay. Kaya nag-work. Syempre, bata-bata pa ako dyan, mas maano pa yung metabolism. Ngayon, hindi na. Kahit mag-IF ako, tsaka calorie count, wala. Hindi na talaga. Anyway, naubos na yung pang-shoutout ko na oras dito sa kwento-kwento kay Norman Mangusid. So, diba? Sabi nga nila, chubby is the new yummy. So, okay na ako sa chubby. Diba? Oo. Chubby is the new yummy. So, doon ako sa chubby. Okay, anyway. Tandaan nyo yan. Chubby is the new yummy. Okay, game. Pag-usapan na natin tong topic natin. Um, wala ng shoutout. Correct. Sir Pascachi, wala ng shoutout, sir. Okay. So, game. Pag-usapan na natin to. Ah, may leg pa rin naman ako. Sabi ni ano? Marlene. May leg ka pa nun. May leg pa rin naman ako eh. Di lang halata. Ay, game na! Tigilan natin to. Pinagtitripan nyo na naman timbang ko. Pinapat shame nyo na naman ako eh. Okay, game. Pag-usapan na natin itong ating topic for today's video. Actually, mga kababayan, so, wag natin pag-usapan si Kulaong, he's irrelevant. Ang relevant ngayon, mga kababayan, itong paparating na impeachment ni Sara Duterte. Oo, yan ang tawag dito. Yan ang relevant. Oo. Yung si Norman Mangusin, hindi relevant yan. Yung timbang ko, hindi relevant yan. Ang relevant, pag-usapan natin yung impeachment, yun naman maganda. Oo, impeachment, guys. So, may bago pong development, mga kababayan. May bagong development doon sa impeachment. Hindi ko lang alam kung paano uubra. Pero, mukhang pinagpaplanuhan ulit ng Kamara de Representante na mag-round 2 o round 2 nung fast track impeachment. Nako, kinakabahan ako dito. Kinakabahan ako dito, guys. Dito kinakabahan eh. Kinakabahan ako dito sa gagawin nato. Yung fast track impeachment. Kasi mga kababayan, nag-comment naglabas ng statement si Congresswoman Jervil Luistro. Ang sabi niya, fast track mode possible if Sara impeachment raps are not yet referred. Oo. Etong sabi. Batangas Representative Jervil Luistro said that impeaching Vice President Sara Duterte through the fast-track method is still an option as long as the two complaints filed have not been referred to the House of Representatives Committee on Justice. However, Luistro said in an online interview on Friday that caution must be exercised as the fast-track mode was the reason why the first impeachment attempt against Duterte last February 5, 2025 was deemed unconstitutional by the Supreme Court. Yun ang sinasabi natin, mga kababayan. Kinakabahan ako dito eh. Sa fast track na yan. Kasi mga kababayan, yung fast track, yung dahilan kung bakit bakit napigilan yung impeachment complaint last year. Kung maaalala nyo, etong si Sara Duterte last year ay nag-file ng kaso dahil nga na-impeach siya. At gusto niyang ipa-declare na unconstitutional yung impeachment niya dahil nga it violated her due process. At that time, mga kababayan, hindi pa applicable yung mga sinasabi niya. Lahat ng sinasabi niya hindi pa applicable. Until the Supreme Court miraculously changed the rules. Miraculously. Binago ng Korte Suprema yung rules pagdating sa impeachment. Nagkagulatan na lang. Nagkagulatan na lang tayong lahat, mga kababayan. Nung sinabi ng Korte Suprema na you still have to afford due process to the defendant kahit na impeachment ito. Oo. Mga kababayan, sa legal doctrines natin, sinasabi lamang po na ang, due process ay ibibigay mo lamang sa mga biktima ng, sa mga individual kung saan ang kanilang fundamental rights ay na-violate. Ibig sabihin, ang kanilang right to life, right to liberty, and right to property. Doon ka lang mag-a-afford ng due process. Pero bilang ang public office is a public trust, it does not really fall on the fundamental rights, mga kababayan. Pero iniba ng Supreme Court yung definisyon pagdating sa impeachment. Mhm. Oo daw, hindi raw fundamental right ng nakaupo yung due process because this person, the office of that person is not a property. Tama naman daw yun. But, hindi nakakaano sa Supreme Court decisions eh. But, yung pero, yung but the mandate of the, parang something about the mandate of those who has elected her in office should be protected. Ayun. Dapat daw protektahan ang karapatan ng mga botante. Mm. Iyon. Paano yung mga hindi binoboto? Paano yung mga ina-appoint tulad ng justice ng Supreme Court? Paano yung mga ina-appoint tulad ng ombudsman? Paano yung mga ina-appoint tulad ng Constitutional Commission or heads ng Constitutional Commissions? Paano na lang? Hindi sila pwedeng magkaroon ng due process? So, yun. Sabi ko nga sa inyo mga kababayan itong impeachment complaint ni Sara Duterte, ginulo ang legal community. Hindi pa man ako abogado, parang nararamdaman ko na yung gigil at galit ng mga law professors. Parang feeling ko nanggigigil yung yung sumulat ng constitutional law book namin, si Cruz. Si Isagani Cruz. Yung anak niya, na abogado din. Feeling ko gigil na gigil ngayon yun eh. Dahil sa mga pagbabagong ginawa ng Supreme Court. Oo. So, ayun na nga. Tapos, binago rin ng Korte Suprema ang definisyon ng session days. Alam naman na natin yan. We have discussed that ad nauseam. So, yung session days no longer mean legislative days. It means calendar days within which Congress is in session. Yun na yung nakasulat dyan. Binago rin, nagdagdag din ng rules sa impeachment. 7 yun guys, 7 steps ang dinagdag nila. Nagdagdag din sila ng requirement doon sa second mode of impeachment complaint to follow the due process requirement. Dapat magkaroon ng 3 bagay na present sa impeachment complaint. Number 1, an impeachable offense. 6 lahat yon, 6 impeachable offenses. So, any of those. Pangalawa, there should be, the impeachment complaint should be distributed to every member of the House of Representatives, including the evidence. Okay, yun yung matindi dun including the evidences. Ay, napakahirap na nun. Wala na mai-impeach kung ganun. Pangatlo, dapat ma-verify na binasa at na-receive, binasa at naintindihan ng bawat miyembro ng Kamara de Representante yung impeachment complaint and the evidences. Diba? So, binago yung rules pagdating sa fast track. Hindi na siya fast track. In fact, mga kababayan, yung fast track is now probably the most difficult impeachment mode that that you can take. Pero siyempre, kung practical ka, pwede mo pa rin dayain, 'di ba? Kung practical ka. Eh kailangan lang naman merong impeachment complaint with wherein the offense is an impeachable offense. So pili ka lang doon, 'di ba? Treason, high crimes, bribery, graft and corruption, betrayal of public trust. Tapos pili ka lang doon sa mga 'yun, 6 'yun. Mm, 'di ba? Tapos ibigay mo lang yung papel sa mga members of the House of Representatives. Bigay mo lang yung papel. Ipa-receive mo. O, pa-receive. Tapos, o may ebidensya ka na, napa-receive mo na. Eh di meron ka na ipapakita sa Supreme Court. O, ibinigay ko na sa kanila, bahala na silang basahin. Ngayon, bago mag-plenary, papirmahin mo lang sila ulit. Sabihin mo, doon sa nakasulat, I have read and understood the contents of the impeachment complaint and with attached evidences. Pirma lang. O, di tapos. Yun na. Pwede mo naman dayain yun. Di ba? Papel lang naman lahat yan eh. Pwedeng dayain yan lahat. Ano ba? Pero again, mga kababayan, paano kung wala kang numero? Mahirapan kang dayain kung wala kang numero. Di ba? But anyway, going back. Ayos ba yung pagko-coach natin, guys? Anyway. Anyway, mga kababayan. Meron pang isa na nag-iisip na posible pa rin yung fast track. Oo. Tinuturuan ko naman sila. Sabi ni Ate Trexie, tinuturuan ko na naman daw sila. And then, well, in this case, yung House of Representatives na natuturuan, guys. Kasi alam nyo, mga kababayan, papel lang naman lahat yan. Papel lang lahat yan. Oo. Idadalhin mo lang yung papel dun sa office, tapos patatatakan mo ng receive. O di meron ka ng proof na nakapag-issue ka ng ebidensya at saka ng impeachment complaint. O di tago mo lang yun, huwag mawawala. O. Tapos after nun, pag magpe-plenary na kayo, papirmahin mo ulit. I have read and understood the contents of the impeachment complaint with its attached evidences. Signed, Congressman blah blah blah. Date, blah blah blah. O, di tapos sa boxing. Hintay ka lang ng mga 1 week bago kayo mag-file. Hintay ka lang mga 1 week bago ka mag-file para hindi naman masyadong obvious na dinaya mo, di ba? Bigyan mo ng substantial time na makapagbasa sila kunyari. Kahit kunyari, basa lang. My goodness. Di ba? Ano lang naman yan. Pag naman nagpunta ng Supreme Court, hindi naman sila kukutsinin ng Supreme Court. Binasa mo ba talaga? Hindi naman sila magre-receipt dun sa Supreme Court eh. Titignan lang naman ng Supreme Court yung papeles kung kumpleto yung papeles. Di ba? Ilan yung nag-receive? 350. O, di kumpleto na sila. O, ilang pages yan? May pirma. 350. O, yan na. Satisfied na. Okay na. O, doon sa I have, understood. Blah, blah, blah. Ilan sila pumirma? 350. Okay na. Ayan na. I have understood. O, di tapos ang due process requirement. Papel lang lahat yan. Kisa, sabi ni Ate Trexie, pwede namang iisa lang ang pumirma gaya ng Confi funds. O, di ba? Pwede naman kasing dayain yan talaga kasi papeles lang lahat yan. Oo. Baka mag-exam yung mga signatories. Ang pangit mo, no? Pag nag-exam yung mga signatories. Oo. But anyway. So, ayun na nga. I mean, it's still not foolproof. Kahit sa Supreme Court nanggaling yun, with all due respect to the Supreme Court, it is still not foolproof. Kasi paperwork lang yan. Additional burden lang yan actually. Ang tunay na na due process at tunay na hearing mangyayari sa Senado. So, I mean, parang ang labas ngayon dun sa sinabi ng Supreme Court, ceremonious lang siya. Ganun, ceremonious lang siya. So, walang. 'Di ba? Tapos dapat recorded. Kumbaga naka-video yung pagpirma nila. And they have read and understood. Oo, para baka mamaya itanggi. Ay, hindi ako yung pumirma dyan. Merong ibang taong pumirma dyan on my behalf. Diba? But anyway, I have dwelled too long on that. Meron nga congressman ang sabi, baka pwede pang baka pwede pang gawin nga. Baka pwede pa raw na magawa yung fast track. Pakinggan natin yung interview ni Terry Ridon.
Filed against VP Sara Duterte this week. And joining us tonight over the phone is Bicol Saro Party List Representative Terry Ridon. He is also a member of the House Committee on Justice and Chair of the Public Accounts Panel. Good evening, Congressman. Welcome to The Big Story.
Good evening. Thank you for having me.
All right, you said that there's an express way of handling the impeachment complaints. May you tell us what these two possible tracks are?
Well, yung una po, yung pong referral po to the House Committee on Justice. This is the route that was undertaken for the President's impeachment. Pero one of the other modes for impeaching an impeachable officer is the express route. No? Pagka meron pong one-third of all House members which will file articles of impeachment, pagka meron pong ganun, there will be a direct transmittal to the Senate. This is the same mode that the House had undertaken in the last Congress. So all of these things are on the table for as long as no referral to the House Committee on Justice has yet been made by the House plenary.
Well, you have to move fast as well as there are new procedures as stated by the Supreme Court decision, right, on VP Sara's case.
Yes, correct. We have to implement the Supreme Court guidelines on the 10 session days for referral to the House Committee on Justice para hindi po maging deemed initiated po yung proceedings. So I think we have up until the first week or second week of March to do the referral. Pero up until that point, the one-third House members express route remains on the table. It's something that Congress can still undertake.
Do you still have the numbers? Do congressmen still have the appetite to do this? After all, the administration also, many are facing cases or possible cases with in relation to the flood control scandal.
Well, I don't think it's a question of appetite. It's always a question of accountability. No? So, irrespective of whether it's a flood control matter or an impeachment matter, if it's within the mandate of Congress, I think we are duty bound to act on it. No? So, if the evidence exists to basically impeach the Vice President on confidential funds, or death threat to the President, the First Lady, and the former House Speaker, then I think the Congress will have to proceed.
Kasi dati, di ba, hindi naman binasa ng
Sorry.
mga maraming congressmen yung complaint. And they were really just, how will we call it? Corralled? Or anyway, it was really the strength of the leadership of the Speaker then that everybody fell in line.
Well, I cannot say for certain whether they were corralled, no? But
that's your assumption. Yun yung sinasabi. Pero wala namang proof that they're corralled. Di ba? Malay nyo, matagal nang pinag-uusapan yan, di lang nilalabas. Kaya talaga, mga malisyoso talaga ito nasa media na ito.
I think what is important, for example, in the proceedings against the President, it should be based on facts, it should be based on evidence, and it should be based on their conscience. No? So that is the same principle that we expect House members to basically undertake when we consider the impeachment of the Vice President, irrespective of mode, whether it is to the House Committee on Justice or whether to the express route of one-third of all members.
At this point, Congressman Terry, which route is the Committee on Justice inclined to take? Are you going to go with the first track, or are you going to do the express route? Is there someone getting like a informal survey of what House members would prefer?
Well, there's no preference at this point. No? So what is currently standing would be the two impeachment complaints. So it is only a question of time as to when the referral will be to the House Committee on Justice. But we are making the note that the express route remains in place. Kasi nga po, that is still an existing mode for as long as no referral has been made to the House Committee on Justice.
We're also expecting, I think, maybe one or two more complaints to be filed early next week. Ironically, today is Feb 6, supposedly the original starting date again na pwede mag-file against the VP. Are you guys gonna...
Okay, wait lang. Baka may mga nagtatanong, bakit kailangan pang intayin yung referral sa Justice Committee? Kasi di ba may decision na rin ng Supreme Court before na an impeachment case is deemed initiated once a case is submitted to the Justice Committee. or to the appropriate committee. Which, in the case ng House of Representatives, is the Committee on Justice. So, kapag nandoon na, wala nang ibang pwedeng ma-file kasi deemed initiated na yon. Anything that is filed after the submission sa Committee on Justice will be barred by the 1-year rule. So, ayun. Yun lang naman yun. Kaya kailangan kung gagawa sila ng fast track before Feb 19 yata. Kasi ang start ng 10 days nila is Monday Feb 9. O Feb 19. Hanggang Feb 19. Tapos plus 3 hanggang 21. 22 pala. Hanggang Feb 22. So, kung magsa-start sila ng fast track na impeachment complaint, meron sila hanggang Feb 22. Oo. Kasi, yun ang start ng Kailangan by Feb 22 kasi yung impeachment complaint nasa nasa Justice Committee. Kasi 10 days, reglementary period na 10 days, na the House Speaker has 10 days para isumite ito or para isama sa order of business. And then, from there, 3 days para ma-refer sa appropriate committee. So, 13 days. Excuse me. And the 13 days will begin on Monday, February 9. The same applies doon sa mga hahabol na magpa-file ng impeachment complaint under the first mode. Kailangan maisumite nila lahat yan bago February 19. Kasi dapat on February 19, maisama na lahat ng impeachment complaints sa order of business. So, ayun. Di ba ang bilis? Masyado mabilis. Paano pag nangangalap ka pala ng ebidensya, di ba?
Guys gonna wait for that, and what's going to happen to those if, for example, there more are filed on Monday?
No, ang totoo po, they can file however complaint that they would not want to file up until a referral is made. So, ibig sabihin, you can file 10 cases, 1,000 cases, for as long as there has been no referral to the House Committee on Justice. Okay lang po yun. The most important lang is the referral should be made Feb 6 onwards para safe po yun from constitutional scrutiny.
Pero if you opt for that express route, sinong tiga-baston dyan? There has to be someone who is, doing all that logistical work. Yeah, giving copies, getting those signatures, getting the support. Who's going to do that?
Well, that would be a bit premature to discuss at this point kasi there's no complaint to even talk about as yet, no? To do the express route. Pero I'm quite certain naman po, for as long as the articles of impeachment, the draft of it exists, then baka meron nung magbabaston, as what you say. Dito po sa 1/3 vote to do it, to do the express route to the Senate.
But following the ruling of the Supreme Court, Congressman Terry, what are some things that lawmakers must keep in mind kung gagamitin nga itong express lane route para hindi ulit ma-question yung constitutionality nito?
Well, meron lang po two actual requirements na pinis po na guardrails ang Korte Suprema doon po sa motion for reconsideration resolution. Una, yung po endorsing congressmen, dapat meron po silang kopya ng complaint ng articles of impeachment at yung po mga evidence supporting it. Tapos secondly, during plenary deliberations, dapat po lahat po ng House members, meron pong kopya ng articles of impeachment at yung pong mga supporting evidence. So, yan po yung mga linatag na mga guardrails ng Supreme Court pagka mag-undertake po kami na express route to the Senate.
And just to clarify, Kong Terry, so if magagather ng signatures, this has to happen even before plenary?
Tama po yun. Dapat meron na pong 1/3 vote, 1/3 signatures of all House members bago po isalang sa plenary.
Okay, let's, I don't want to belabor this, but as to Ces's point, and now with Pawis, usually yung majority leader yung gumagawa nun, and that is, of course, Sandro Marcos. Have you spoken to him on whether or not he would recuse para hindi masyadong maging overly political?
I haven't spoken to Majority Leader Marcos. Pero I'm quite certain naman po, marami naman po very interested to look at it as a method of impeaching the Vice President. So, antayin na lang po natin siguro pagka nag-materialize po itong another route of impeaching the Vice President. Pero as we speak today, siyempre, yung pong referral to the House Committee on Justice, yan po yung pinaka-inaantay din po natin na most likely route po ng impeachment po ni Vice President.
And
di ba? Sabi sa inyo, marami pa rin interesadong congressman na i-impeach to si Sara Duterte. Actually, mga kababayan, kanina may pinapakinggan akong balita. Sabi ni Eli San Fernando, ay hindi na boboto yung mga congressmen dyan. Tapos si Erice, ganun din. Hindi na boboto sila kasi mag-e-election ganyan. Alam niyo, yung mga taong ganyan, tulad nila Eli San Fernando tsaka ni Erice, mga bobo kasi yung mga yan. Ang alam lang nila, yung gusto nila. At akala nila yung gusto nila, yun din ang gusto ng karamihan. Oo. Nagpapanggap lang ng liberal yan, pero mga DDS talaga yan. Baka sila yung ganun. Baka silang dalawa yung ganun. Kasi kailangan nila yung boto ng DDS sa 2028. So baka sila lang yung nag-iisip ng 2028 elections. 'Di ba? Baka sila lang yun. Tsaka si Toby Chanko. Sila lang yung ganun. Kasi kailangan nila yung boto ng DDS. Baka kasi sa mga lugar nila, kailangan nila yung boto ng DDS. Tapos ito si Eli San Fernando, akala ng mga DDS, kasama siya, kakampi siya, pero totoo, hindi, liberal yan. Ngayon, iniisip, kahit wala pa siyang accomplishment, wala pa siyang nagagawa, may nagawa na ba si Eli San Fernando? Wala, di ba? So, ang gagawin niya, dumidikit siya ngayon kay Kiko Barsaga, dumidikit siya ngayon kay, who's this guy? Kay Leandro Lebiste, para ma-associate na naman siya sa mga DDS. Kasi nga, ang mga DDS, tanga. Boboto lang ng boboto. Baka sa akala nila, kakampi nila. Ganun sila katanga. Oh. See? So baka siya ang nag-iisip nun. Baka si Eli San Fernando, iniisip niya, kailangan ko yung political future ko. Kaya kailangan ko paka-DDS ulit. Tuloy.
Even if it's done by referral to the Justice Committee, it can still be fast-tracked.
Hindi na ho. Pagka po meron ng referral to the House Committee on Justice, yun na po yun. There can be no more express route. So yung talagang
Yeah.
kailangan na pong gawin would be to do the House
Right.
Committee on Justice proceedings.
But what I mean is the Justice Committee can speed up its proceedings.
Well, I think the standard that we would want to undertake would be the previous standard that we had implemented during the president's impeachment. So there was a discussion on sufficiency in form and exhaustive discussions on sufficiency in substance. No? And then if it proceeds from there, then we will have marathon hearings on all of the grounds that were raised against the Vice President.
And how long would that take? Yun matagal.
It will really depend po on the endorsers and the complainants kasi syempre gusto rin mo natin himayin. But to be clear, we have 60 session days to basically dispose of it. No? So I'm quite certain hindi naman po kami lalagpas ng 60 session days to dispose of impeachment proceedings at the level of the committee.
Congresswoman Luis Tro was very firm no, na iisa-isahin, meaning each article in each complaint is debated on one by one. So we expect this will be how it would go also for the Vice President. But I wanted to get your thoughts, Congressman Terry, on consolidation. What's your opinion on that? Pwede ba yun o hindi?
Depende po yun sa komite, no? Kung mag-consolidate. So for example, in the President's impeachment proceeding, we did it separately, no? At the level of form and substance. I cannot say for certain, for example, if it proceeds to the next stage, kung mag-consolidate po yung committee. I think we have to wait for that to happen muna.
Kung Terry, kayo po ba ay may fearless forecast na dito sa magiging impeachment proceedings against Vice President Sara Duterte? I understand you can't speak on the merits yet, but we all know naman pareho pa rin yung grounds ng impeachment complaint. Nandiyan pa rin yung culpable violation of the Constitution, bribery, graft, and corruption. Ano po ang forecast niyo dito?
Well, I don't want to forecast on the votes, no? And yung pong ending po nung proceeding. Pero, syempre, hindi man, like what stated, hindi nagbago yung evidence, documents from last year to this year. So kung yun po yung pagbabatay, mabigat po talaga yung grounds to confidential funds, mabigat po yung death threat against the President, the First Lady, and House Speaker, former House Speaker. So, tingin ko even on those points pa lang, even without talking about the Madriaga affidavit,
Hindi, natanong ko
mabigat
sa'yo.
na po yan to proceed with proceed to trial.
Oh,
Ito
yung
pong impeachment ni Vice President.
Yung Madriaga affidavit, Congressman, do you think, how weighty will this be? Kasi base dun sa takbo nung debate kay President Marcos, kumbaga, I know this is notarized, right? Pero it's also just one guy saying this and that and having that document notarized.
At least notarized.
Hindi ko walang problema yun kasi, for example, you just have to compare it naman po dun sa affidavit ni Roberto Bernardo. Wala naman yung debate. Ito is an affidavit made by a former undersecretary. So, ang mahalaga mo sa amin, it is based on personal knowledge and based on authentic documents, no?
Yun yung sinasabi ko, mga kababayan, na hindi naiintindihan itong mga reporter. Palibasa kasi gusto lang din nilang idamay si Martin Romualdez sa sa flood control eh. Hindi magamit. Ito, simplihan natin para sa mga naikinig at sana maaksidenteng mapainggan itong mga anchor na to sa mga balita. Hindi magamit yung testimonya ni Toby Chanko kasi hindi siya notarized. Hindi siya sworn affidavit. Hindi siya authentic document. Okay. Hindi magamit yung kay Saldico kasi hindi siya notarized. Hindi siya sworn affidavit. Oo. Personal knowledge, maybe. Pero hindi siya sworn affidavit. It's not an actionable document. It's not an authorized, authentic document. Kay Madriaga, ang pinagkaiba, meron siyang personal knowledge. Isinulat niya ito sa isang sworn affidavit. Pinanumpaan niya ito sa isang notaryo. Therefore, it is an authentic document. Diba? Simple lang naman eh. Basic. Basic. So, wag nyo nang ipilit na gamitin si Saldi ko, na gamitin si Toby Chanko, kasi nga, ni sila, wala silang authentic document. Aanin namin yung personal knowledge mo kung di mo kayang panumpaan sa harapan ng notaryo at gawin mong public document. Kung personal knowledge mo yan at ikinakalat mo, chismis yun. Ilagay mo sa papel, panotaryo mo, authentic document na yan, notarized sworn statement. Oh. Di ba ang laki ng pinagkaiba?
Yung naging pagkakaiba naman po dito, yung Zaldico video kasi was unauthenticated, eh. Di ba? Wala man lang affidavit si Zaldico saying na, no, these are my videos, you can actually use it for the impeachment. So I think that needs to be clear. So yung affidavit can be considered as part of the document list. Dito po VP impeachment.
All right, so before we let you go, one final question. If you're saying that the express route is being considered, so it's going to be a busy weekend for the House of Representatives.
Well, it can be a busy month kasi yung pong 10 session days naman po will lapse by the first week or second week of March, I think.
Okay.
So, meron pa po tayong mahabang panahon yung Kongreso para mag-desisyon whether we will do the Committee on Justice route or we will do the one-third route na express to trial to Senate.
All right, we thank you for talking to us this Friday night, Congressman Terry Ridon.
Ayun. Di ba? So mukhang the express route is still on the table. Mukhang pag-iisipan yata nila yan. Kung ako, ang tatanungin, I'll play it safe. Doon lang ako sa first mode. Total naman may naka-file naman eh. Or balay natin, may mag-file na impeachment on Monday, di ba? Hindi natin alam. So, kung ako tatanungin, play it safe, do the first mode. Pero mukhang adventure sila eh. O di ba? Go ahead. Diba? Depende na sa inyo yon. Ilaban nyo na lang, di ba? Pero kung ako, parang I'll play it safe. I'll play it safe. Pero ako yun. Diba? And ang opinion ko naman eh hindi pinapakinggan ng Kongreso. So, wala akong magagawa. Diba? What if si Ombudsman ang mag-file? O di, papasok yun sa first mode. Oh. Sa first mode yun. Or pwedeng kunin nyo ng House of Representatives, sila naman ang magka-file. So, abangan natin ang susunod na kabanata. Tignan natin kung ano mangyayari sa Lunes kasi meron nga daw magka-file ng impeachment complaint on Monday. So, yun mga kababayan. Since we're talking about the impeachment already, puntahan na ngayon natin yung viral na yung viral topic. Oo. At magkita-kita po tayo sa ating susunod na ating live stream. God bless you. See you next time, guys. Bye. Huwag ganun. Natin gawing tanga mga Pilipino. Mas maganda kasi nasa lugar mo ng tama kaysa yung pinipilit mo yung pagkakamali. Are they willing to go that far? Hindi makakalimutan ng Pilipino yan hanggat di nasasagot. Sino ngayon nagsasabi ng totoo?